Welcome back, everyone, to No Glitches Allowed 2026. My name is selcouthmind, and I am delighted to be here with two of our runners coming up later today. We have DoubleADewi and IBA all day. How are you two doing?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Excellent.
Stole my
Now,
line.
you're going to be bringing us a bunter race of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Randomizer. For those who are unfamiliar with this category, could you tell us what it is?
Yeah. I will say, as the person that kind of coined the term bunter, I feel like I have some responsibility to that. The original category was boss hunter, or boss hunter bingo. You will see later, there is a bingo board of these different bosses that we'll face. And what we'll be doing is all of the bosses are shuffled around, and anytime we find a boss and kill that boss will be marked on the board. And like the name sounds, we will be trying to get lines of bingo, and we will actually be trying to get 3 lines to win. So the first at that point, obviously, getting your rows, your columns, your top left, bottom right, and your diagonals going that way, can have some uh, divergences in routing, so we can try to be a little more creative in that way. But it's mostly just find these bosses, deal with them in a variety of tools, and make it through without dying, preferably.
Awesome. I am a big fan of bingo and randomizer combined. That's always such a cool, unique thing to see. And I totally see where Bunter came out of Boss Hunter. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that sharding.
I'm very proud of it.
If I understand correctly, IBA, there's a few bosses that we're going to get to see here that might not be seen in maybe some other randomizer categories. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so a couple bosses got added back into Bunter from our last Bunter training that we had. One of those bosses was DoubleADewi. And the fun thing with that fight, there's a few arenas where we don't have any backup. So our tools and everything could very much make that fight one of the hardest ones to have to deal with because we're on a timer on top of having to deal with a very hard hitting boss once we actually get to the damage portion. But the other boss is Grim Reaper 2, which has a couple little fun tricks to it where its gimmick is you can't actually damage it physically, but you need to grab the medallions with it, which you can only do via magic. Um, and once you deposit the required medallions into the chest, you can actually do the damage to Grim Reaper 2. So it's very time consuming for both of those fights, but honestly, I think they're kind of fun fights to have to deal with on the fly.
They sound certainly like some very cool and very challenging bosses. Hopefully, we'll get to see them in this race.
I'm hoping
So,
not.
well, for the viewers' sake, I hope we see them. Now, Kingdom Hearts obviously is a much loved series, one that's often very nostalgic for a lot of people. I'm wondering if you could both share a little bit about how you got into playing the game and into the randomizer community and racing.
I mean, for as long as I can remember, Kingdom Hearts 2 has always been my favorite game ever since I was a kid. Whether it was growing up playing with my older sister, just playing on the PS2. Um, but back in 2015, I was just looking up speedruns in general. I wasn't even really that familiar with the concept. I just recently played Super Mario World with my friend, and we speedran it together, and I was super interested in the idea, and found this Games Done Quick speedrun of the critical mode speedrun for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, and like fell in love with the speedrun, fell in love with this community, and I've been embedded into it ever since.
Yeah, that's kind of about how I got started. Like one of my all-time favorite games, and came across a GDQ run for the game. Saw the run was absolutely a lot of fun to do, and started looking into it when I was able to actually being able to actually start recording my runs because I had nothing to do it with. So it's like, all right, and here we are. This is now my second full year doing like randomizer stuff for KH2, and it's been an absolute blast. Met a lot of incredible people within the community and made some really great friends, and It's been a lot of fun. Like Dewey bringing it up to me to turn this into a race also was kind of an honor, because like in my eyes, Dewey's like one of the top tier rando players. So it's like for him to be like, "Hey, you want to do this?" It's like, sure.
I appreciate the stroking my ego. I definitely I like these categories. The randomizer I've already done for so long, and that's already been a joy. But what's really nice is when we also add the boss randomizer portion to it, a boss enemy as it's referred to there. It adds this extra layer of potential difficulty, because a lot of people might find it a lot harder to walk into the first room and for walk into Roxas Arena and find Terra. You might find that a lot harder, and I don't know. I've always been very comfortable with those fights, and I have a lot of fun kind of solving that puzzle of what is the way I can solve this and be able to make it out of this alive with what I have.
That's the really cool thing about randomizers, is it forces you to really think on your feet. I get the sense you're both quite involved with the Final Mix community. Are there any projects that you're working on within the community that you're really excited about right now?
I mean, IBA, you want to talk about 1 hour?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have the 1 hour tourney coming up for us here starting next month, as a matter of fact. And it's kind of one of our big time boss enemy, and also I like to call it the penultimate format for randomizer, because we have 1 hour of loadless time to do as much content, kill as many bosses, to accumulate as many points as we can within that time frame. And it's a high intensity type format, because you're dealing with randomized bosses, enemies, low tool situations sometimes even, and you're trying to squeeze all of that into such a small time frame. But it's a lot of fun. Like, it's what I actually funny enough took the deep dive when I joined Rando a couple weeks in. The 1 hour tourney came out, and it's like, yeah, sure, let's try it. Like, I had super boss knowledge, but it was a whole different beast walking into this, and it's been an absolute blast taking things to a different level.
If folks want to see you doing that hour challenge or anything else Kingdom Hearts, where could they find you?
For me, it'll be twitch.tv/DoubleADewi, and also just you'll find me in other random players chats. I'll be around.
For me, just twitch.tv/IBA all day, one word. I'm all around as well, like in other rando players chats and everything, helping out when I can as well for other stuff.
All right, final question for you both. Can you give me a really brief teaser of something that our viewers should watch out for or be excited about for this race?
There is one arena at the end of the first visit of Agrabah that has normally 2 bosses, and that means that both of those bosses can be shuffled into that pool. So it's almost like an Ornstein Smo situation of like, I have these 2 potential crazy bosses that even one of them would be a chore to try to deal with, and you might have some really brutal combinations. So I actually did this run on GDQ Hotfix, and I had a very brutal combination that took me a lot of tries to beat on there.
How about you?
Watch out for the small arenas.
Ooh, I like that.
Nowhere to run.
All right, well, thank you both so much for joining me. Folks, stick around for more No Glitches Allowed, but also stick around for this Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Randomizer race coming up later today. It's going to be incredible. You won't want to miss it. Thank you both so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to No Glitches Allowed 2026, supporting Go Rescue Pet Adoption Center. My name is Feminine M&M, and I will be your host for the next couple of runs. Up next, we are going to have Viper UK showing off an all-duels run of Victory Heat Rally. And what could be better for a glitchless run than a fast-paced track racing game? We, of course, love runs like this, as NoGA is all about featuring speedruns that rely more on execution of intended mechanics than game-breaking glitches. Also, we still have that LEGO Racers character bid war open. LEGO Racers will be right after Link's Awakening, so 2 games from now. And currently, Scooter is in the lead there, with Joan of Arc just $25 behind. You can also choose Robo Racer or Turbocharger or the default. If you want to get that in, we will actually have that open throughout the run, so the runner will be able to swap on the fly. We have that runner just about ready. I'm going to send you to a quick break, and then we'll have that run ready to go.